Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about features of sine, cosine, and we're also going to throw a little bit of tangent in there. So first we're going to start with the definitions. The amplitude is how far the graph goes up and down from its midline. Okay, and that's actually another definition in here. The period is how long it takes to complete one full wave. Okay, and the midline is the line that cuts the graph in half long ways. So kind of like hot dog style there. So let's just look at the graph and we're going to say what the features are here, and we're going to be looking at what they mean in the actual equations. So let's look here first on the graph. The amplitude is how far up and down it goes from the middle. So you can see this one is going up one and down one. So this one has an amplitude of 1. So let's just write this out. Amplitude is 1. Okay, now let's write the period. The period is how long it takes to complete one full wave. So what you do is you start on the y-axis. So on the y-axis, I'm right here at this slant, okay? So since I'm at a slant, I want to see when I get back to this upward slant. So if I'm going to the right, there's the downward, that's not correct. But then I keep going, and this is my upward slant right here. So this one has a period of 2 pi. 2 pi. Okay, and let's do some underlining here. Okay, there was my amplitude. Here is my period. So this one has a period of 2 pi. And this is just the regular sine function, by the way. Okay, and now let's look at the midline. Okay, the midline is the line that cuts it in half like a hot dog. So if I'm looking hot dog style, that's a long ways. This is going to be the line that cuts it in half. So this is actually the x-axis, and it's going through a tick mark on the y-axis, so it's going this direction. So that is going to be y equals 0. Okay, y equals 0. Okay, so now let's look in the form. So A, that's still our amplitude, okay, but it has to be a positive. So even though this one's going up 1 and down 1, I wouldn't say it has an amplitude of -1. I'll just say it's going up 1 and it's going down 1. So it's just going to be a positive value. So the A is going to be your amplitude, and it's going to be that number that's out in the front. And remember, it's the absolute value of A. So even if it says -2, the amplitude is still going to be +2. All right, for the period, since the regular sine graph or cosine graph has a period of 2 pi, then to find the period, we're going to do 2 pi divided by b, or you can do 360 divided by b, depending on if you're in degrees or radians. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is our c value, and since we just worked with the amplitude and the period, the c is going to be with our midline. So the midline is just going to be y equals the number on the end, and it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, whatever that number is, that is going to be your midline. So y equals c is your midline. And then we also could be talking about an f of x or f of theta. Theta is just another variable, so it doesn't really matter which one you have there. Either one should work. And this equation is going to work for sine and cosine. For tangent, it's going to be a little bit different. So let's just go ahead and write this out. For tangent, the period is going to be pi over b. Okay, so that's the only difference with tangent. So whenever you're working with tangent, just make sure that your period is pi over b. All right, so in the next video, I'm going to be working with finding the amplitude, the period, and the midline of sine, cosine, and we're going to do an example with tangent. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Goodbye.